Spectacular is here. Let's see if this is oriented right. Let's see what we got going on here. I think it's the right way. Let's see. Let's put this here. Make it look like it's super special. Like it's almost like it's accidental. Like I didn't mean to put them like this. They just kind of fell that way. That's what I'm going for. I'm going for the allure of accidental. The oopsie daisies. They just ended up going that way. Oh my, let me cover my mouth. I cannot believe that happened. Going for that approach. Let me see, Liquid Electrum, yo, what's up? Nothing, man. Nothing, just thought I'd go live and hang out a little bit. You know, try to be a member of the community, you know what I mean? Just chit chat with the boys and girls out there. That's all. What's going on with you? How are you doing? Be honest too. Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth about how you're doing. Give me the 411. Tell me the skinny. Oh, I can zoom in. Oh, zoom is a real function here. Actually, how far can I zoom in? Like how close can we get? Oh, sick. Starts to get a little less beautiful as we get closer though, huh? Let's see if I can maybe move the camera a little bit. Let's see. Rob Burke, let's go. Mike, how's it going? Not too bad. I didn't even notice that before. There's a little dot on the capsule. You see the dot? How'd that get there? Is that inside the capsule? That's definitely not on the coin. Look at it. See the dot right there? I never would have seen that before. Must have got the old loop out. The old loop-a-doop. $1. Not a big deal, right? Just $1. Apparently I overpaid. I overpaid by a little bit. That one cost me $4.75. It is what it is, and it isn't what it isn't too. How's everybody doing? Listen, go into the chat and start typing in some stuff that's going on in your lives. We're just going to talk for no real reason. No real reason. James, are you saying you have blood clots in your left leg and lungs? Are you really saying that right now, James? Oh, dude, please tell me that's something to do with something completely else. James, I'm so sorry, man. That's so sad. That is absolutely terrible. What do you got to do now, James? What's the situation? Are you laying in the hospital right now talking to us? What are you doing? Let us know. Thoughts and prayers go out to James for sure. Boston. Oh, Jimmy Swanton from Boston, huh? Too many hobbies. I'm doing good. How you doing? Let's see. Mike or Macromania. How's it going? Love the new flowing hair gold coin. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? I mean, Doc loves it. Doc likes the new flowing hair gold coin. I think it's a great coin. A little sad about that whole auction situation with the 230th anniversary privy marks on the gold piece. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I wish it could have been a random thing that some members of the community could have gotten. I understand, to be honest with you, the number one piece, I understand actually auctioning that one. I mean, that's a museum piece. I think it's beyond auctioning. It should have just went to a museum. But I can understand more of that one in particular getting auctioned, the very first one. But the rest of them, all 230 going into auctions for the highest bidder, which, I mean, how many true collectors are going to get those? Very few. It's going to go to some kind of shops or businesses that have them. They're going to be like, haha, I have the number 9 one, I have the number 10 one, whatever the case may be. And then they're going to be trying to sell those for even more money than they paid in auction, of course. And that's my opinion. I hope only collectors get them, but we know that's not going to happen. We know. Yeah, James, I'm sorry, buddy. Hope you get better soon. I'm going to make a ribeye and lobster tails for dinner. A little surf and turf. I made some smoked turkey. I tell you what, I'll probably never, buy a turkey and use it in the oven again, or put it into do a deep fryer for the turkey. I'll never do that again, man. I'll smoke a turkey every time. It's way easy. It tastes phenomenal. I think that's the true way to go. You know what I mean? True way to go. It is a 1K premium, Jeremy, but you literally, if that was like, worrisome, you can end up selling that thing for $1,000 more than you just paid for it. It's kind of crazy. Although there's a $1,000 premium, $1,000 over top of that is what you can get out of it if you sell it in the secondary market right now. In fact, let's go to auction sold pricing on it and see if that's actually come down now that the 230 privy marks are kind of being advertised. So let's see, flowing hair gold dollar coin. Let's see here. Let's check it out together. Look, sold listings. We want to go to sold listings. That's what matters. Here's one that's proof 70 for $5,700. I want to see original government packaging. So here's the OG packaging for literally $1,000 more. I'll show you. Here, we're going to go over here real quick. Pardon me, excuse me. So here you go. You have two that's been sold in the original government packaging. For this one's almost $1,000 more than you would have paid for it. This one right there is on the money of $1,000 more. So pretty crazy, right? So yeah, although you pay $1,000 more than spot for it, you can sell it for $1,000 over that. So, geez Louise. Okay, back to the comments. I'm filling out a CACG submission sheet right now. Nice, Macro. Is that your first time doing it? It's a little, it's a little scary the first time you fill up one of those out, but it starts making sense after a while. Star Stacker, hello. Parker, it looks nice, hoping to start stacking, but disability checks are not worth a darn. Sorry, buddy. Everybody starts somewhere. Everybody does what they can. You know what I mean? One thing, when I first started watching YouTube, I saw these guys and they were just unleashing big, huge piles of silver onto the screen. And I was like, wow, that's cool. That's cool. Never, am I jealous? I want to be that guy for sure. If that's jealousy, then sure, I guess I was jealous, right? But I was never like dangerous jealous. I was never, angry jealous. I was just, hey man, I see what that guy's doing. I see him popping all these silver bars up on screen. And I was like, man, I want to be that person. I really would like to go ahead and get some silver bars up on my screen, stack my silver bars. And I just tried hard. I tried hard. I worked extra, worked overtime, just kept on going till I was, I felt like I started getting a healthy stack. And I think that everybody has to stack how they're comfortable doing so. And that's different for everybody. That doesn't mean we have to be jealous about somebody. We don't have to hate on somebody because of the way they stack. We just stack it whatever, is convenient for us and whatever our availability dictates. That's my opinion. It's not real profound, right? Like I sounded real good just then. I was like, wow, man, that really makes sense. Spectacular. Really, just some Nostradamus kind of stuff on us right there. I know, man. I was like fortune telling, wasn't I? Morgan Dollar question for you, Speg. Not a stacking question. Did I miss it, Dan? Or the question is coming? I don't see it yet. Let me see. Let me keep on going. I'm behind on the chat, which is kind of like my usual situation. Looks nice. Hoping to start stacking. Or also that. Okay. Vinny Katz. Hey, Speg. Did you get the gold flowing hair without privy? Yes, I did. We didn't get any kind of shipping confirmation yet, Vinny Katz. I think we got the order confirmation. My wife actually ordered it for me because I was taking a little nap during that moment, so she was able to get that for me. So she claims that in the email that she got that there was an order confirmation. So I haven't actually personally seen that email as of right now, but she says I'm gonna take her word for it this time. You know what I mean? I'm gonna believe her. Look at this. Does anybody here remember when I got this stuff? Is anybody a fan from that long ago when I was working with the pay dirt companies to advertise their pay dirt, and they were offering us some really insane deals on pay dirt, just a little bit over the spot price that you would get inside the pay dirt bags, and now our pay dirt even is worth way more than what we paid for it? How crazy is that? That doesn't happen, right? Usually the entertainment value of the pay dirt, you just never get back and you're kind of at a loss for it. But now this gold is worth well more than we paid for it. So if you guys took a little gander at that deal at that time, your pay dirt is now worth more. Isn't that fun? Dirt is worth money sometimes. 20 years from now, does anyone expect a metal to hold its value? Sure. Yeah. There's coins that are 100 years old that have held their value, right, the tribe? So look at that. Hey, here's an example. Hold on a second, tribe. hold on a second. I see what you're trying to do here, and I'm going to try to do something right back at you. So let me go to this coin right here. This is the 1928 Hawaiian Sesquicentennial, okay? This issue was struck to commemorate the 150th anniversary of the arrival of the Hawaiian Islands of Captain James Hook in 1778. The design was sketched by Juliet May Fraser of Honolulu and executed by Chester Beach. Captain Cook is shown on the obverse and a native chief on the reverse. The coins were distributed in 1928. So these coins right here, 1928. They sold for $2 each. $2 each, and they were the highest sale price of any of the classic commemorative half dollars up until that time. $2 each. I'm sure there were people at that time, Mr. The Tribe, that said, hey, you're never going to get your money back for those half dollars. What a waste. Look at some of the monies right now for these things right here. I think I paid $4,500 or so for mine. Look at that. It cost $2 at the time. Goodness gracious. If you were 104 years old, this would make you absolutely rich right now if you got 10 to 15 of those. You could retire at 104 years old, Tribe. Think about that. Think about the possibility. Peace dollar question. Why is the 1934S more money when it shows 1934D has a less production? Scott, that's survivability, which is another beautiful thing about our hobby. Survivability, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's say the 1911 versus the 1912. Let's use those two. Or we can, right here. This is two simple ones. Let's say the 1927, which is a common date, and the 1924 St. Gaudens Double Eagle, right? Let's use those as an example. 1924, both common dates, not that big of a deal. But let's imagine the 1927, right? As it starts to get to MS 66, 67, 68. Let's say that less of those were available in high grade. Let's say the 1924, just about every single one was just beautiful, right? Solid coins. There's thousands of them that gets graded in Mint State 67 and 68, right? It's just such a common thing for that to happen. Well, let's say the 60 or the 27, it's not so common. Let's say that maybe only 5 or 6 or 7 are in Mint State 66, 67, 68, right? Has a lower survivability, right? Those coins don't tend to do, get those high grades as often. And so survivability is kind of the thing. Although that may not be the case in these particular, two coins, that's a big deal. The survivability. Liquid Electrum, 10K mintage too. Were you talking about the Hawaiian Classic Commemorative? Well, oddly enough that you talk about that there, Liquid Electrum, that's correct. We can go to that coin and we can see that the 10,000 mintage on it doesn't hurt. But let me just come right over here to page next, and we can look right here at the Texas Classic Commemorative half dollars. We're going to go down here to the Denver, for instance, just right there in the middle. Only 3,775 of these coins exist, period, right? Period. And look at the disparity of prices. Mint State 66 for that one right there, for only a 3,775 minted coin, okay, versus Mint State 66 over here. Much less of a mintage. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy how this stuff works, man. It's crazy. Tribe says metals are not coins. You're right. Do you know what the difference is between a metal and a coin? Do you know, Tribe? Tribe does. He does. He does. He does. But there's plenty of metals. Actually, I saw some metals at auction. Was it 2 weeks ago when I went now? It's all been a blur, either last week or the week before. But there was metals in that auction from, I don't know, 100 years ago going for like $15,000. I was like, who's got that kind of money for those things? It was wild. But there were lots of dates for that one. That's right, Liquid Electrum, you are right. He's so smart. You can't get nothing by Liquid Electrum. But regardless, the mintage is still the same. It's just like saying, like, hey, the 1927, there was, a million made. Because there's a lot of St. Gaudens double eagles out there. But there's a few dates that are worth some crazy money. Like a 1933. Raise your hand if you got the 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle. Raise your hand. No, my hand's down. My hand's down. I have a good collection of metals. I got them all at spot at the time of purchase. I have several of those too. Metals that aren't worth that much. You know what I mean? These like these things right here. These are very, very common. These are everywhere, but these are awesome too. These little high relief pieces, those are awesome. But it just depends on the piece, man. It really does. There's pieces from the United States Mint that just notoriously hasn't done very well, and they've been metals or coins. This has blown every expectation away, though, this flowing hair metal, for sure. And if you have the gold piece, you're going to want to go ahead and get the silver metal, too. It just goes with it. Jim Thompson, welcome. Whatnot was fun the other night, thanks. Oh, Cosmic, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad you gave me a chance on there, for sure. We did some really good things. I had, on Whatnot, I was selling silver eagles for well under spot. I think some of the silver eagles were going for like $30, $31 each. And then if you have coupons, you were buying silver eagles for like, 20, 25 bucks for a silver eagle, brand new from the tube. I had these right here. Actually, I'm surprised they didn't all sell out. I have 10 of these left right now. I know they're not available anymore, but I sold only 10. These Pamp Buffalo rounds, which actually look really nice. I'll show you these real quick. They look pretty. But I sold those. And again, spot was, I think, what, $31 an ounce? It'd be the same price of whatever it is now. But I ended up selling those for $27 each on Whatnot. If you had coupons, they were even cheaper. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Good. Listen, I know some of you guys hate hearing about it, and it is what it is, but I tell you what, that place right there, Whatnot, when I'm on there, you guys can get some amazing deals. Amazing deals. Check it out. Actually, not even trying to advertise, but look at this. I got this the other day. This was so much fun. This happened right there live on Whatnot. So a guy on there by the name of Trader B, he ended up getting a sealed mint bag, mint sealed, of 1904 New Orleans Morgan silver dollars, and ended up going to the NGC headquarters here in Florida and just kind of opening them up and handing them right to an NGC person or people. I don't know how many were there, but they were grading them right then and there. So this coin right here was opened up out of a mint sealed bag and then given right to an NGC worker, and then put into a slab, graded right then and there. So that was a lot of fun, and I've never seen that happen before anywhere else besides Whatnot. So kind of neat if you ask me. And not to advertise too much about it, but guys and gals, the first link in the description goes to Whatnot. If you are a first-time buyer there, you can click on that link and you can get anything on the entire site for $15 off. You can get an American Silver Eagle for well under spot for that. Any silver round for well under spot. There's almost no reason not to use that $15 credit. But to each their own. Let's keep on going. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else. But I think it's a great deal. A great, great deal. What else we got in the chat? Let's go. Metals have no government-backed numismatic value. Coins do. Corey, there's still a spot price aspect in it. So metals are basically made by a government mint. You know what I mean? That doesn't have a denomination on there. And if you're worried about denomination, it really makes no sense to be worried about such a thing, especially when, for instance, the flowing hair gold dollar says $1 on it. You know what I mean? It literally says 100 cents, $1 or a unit. And it technically becomes a coin. If you think that that matters at all, then I don't know what to do for you. I don't know what to do for you. It's such a silly argument, really. Metal versus coin, especially when most of the coinage doesn't have anywhere near its value posted on it. It gets the coin aspect just because it's, it's like this thing. Hold on, let me bring it out. Let me bring this. Does anybody care right here what denomination is on this thing? Absolutely not. Nobody can remember what denomination is on here. I think it's the Republic of Chad, so it's their money's on there. But this 2 ounce 3/9 fine revolver coin is a coin just because they got with the Republic of Chad and they said, hey, let's put your name on there. Let's say it came from a government mint, even though it probably has never stepped foot in Chad. You know what I mean? So crazy. What is the actual currency on this thing? We're going to zoom in. We're going to get the zoomies here real quick. That's where it says how, oh, I think it's right here on the handle. It's 10,000, is it 10,000 or something like that? Whatever it is. Oh, come on, get in there. The zoom doesn't want to work that great, but 10,000, I think it's 10,000. But that way it gets the designation of a coin, and it makes people go, oh my gosh, there's a coin that's in the shape of a pistol. If you say there's a piece of silver in the shape of a pistol, you know, I guess it doesn't interest people as much as hearing that it's now a coin. But yeah, it's a big deal, I guess, to some, but I don't know. Really, it's almost like a formality to make it something that doesn't really matter that much. And that's the argument. Now it appeals to coin collectors, whereas otherwise you just be a stacker if you got that and it was only silver. But now it's a coin. Now it's different. Did I miss some chat? I think I did. Wow, NGC has a whatnot label. I think Liquid explained that. It says, Corey, whatnot paid and ordered those. They will do it for anyone that grades 10,000 coins at a time. Yeah, you can, if you have the money, you can put just about whatever you want on the slabs these days. They will work with you. You say, hey, I have a large amount of money coming your way, NGC. Do you mind doing something for me? They're like, oh, please, sir, please, I will take your money. It's not a problem. I will do these things for you, whatever you need. Eric Grimes in the house. How's it going? Those pamp rounds are more impressive than the latest medals. Don't be mad because you didn't get one, Tribe. That sounds like a hater of somebody who didn't get one. What's the gist? Gold, silver down, expected to level. There's two different thought processes. Let's go to a website showing the current prices. There's two different thought prices. There's a thought price of right now we're in an excited time, right? And cryptos are kind of getting the spotlight right now. Trump had said that he plans to be, in like a Bitcoin conference that he wanted to add Bitcoin to the reserve money for the United States. That excites people. They go, oh my gosh, Bitcoin and the reserves, that's a big deal. Although, whole, truckloads and buildings full of ounces of gold is in the reserves. The fact that they're going to put a little bit of Bitcoin in there does excite the crypto people. And so what happens when Bitcoin goes up, all the other cryptos tend to go up as well, because people that can't afford Bitcoin or don't find the potential in investing something that's $90,000 per coin, or even pieces of it, in order to double your money now it has to go to $180,000. Meanwhile, you could just buy, SHIB, which is 0.000024, of a dollar, whatever number that you want to call that. And it's much easier for that to double than it would be for Bitcoin. And it has doubled, I think, over the last couple months. But anyways, that excites people. And so it's an exciting time right now for that, right? And if you are anybody that's been invested in stocks in a while, you know how sectors do well, right? There's like a trend, right? Tech sector starts to do well, health sector starts to do well, the fuel sector, it kind of goes in these little trends. And I think that we're just in a trend right now where Bitcoin and cryptos are seeing some light. We were just in a trend with precious metals, and now it's time for something else, and then the trend will cycle. And it just depends on what goes on in the world. I think that the excitement of Trump becoming president has caused the fear of things to come down a little bit. But then today we just hear that Biden's trying to get missiles out to Ukraine so they can start shooting them into Russia. So it's like, what are you guys doing? But I think everything comes in cycles. And although silver and gold have come down, have they come down that much in the grand scheme of things from where they've been? I mean, they did so stinking well over the last few months. They've come down a smidge, right? They've had a small pullback in the grand scheme of things. Could they come down more? Sure. I hope they do. I hope I see $22 silver again in my future. I hope I see some $1,700 gold soon in my future. And that's somebody who has some gold, That's somebody who has this stuff. And you would think, wow, Spegtacular. Why would you want that? Because I want to get more. I'm not done stacking yet. I want to keep going. So that's, there's some different thought processes and what could go on. I've heard some people believe that now because of, Trump and the less fear of what's going to happen, in the world and stuff, and other countries wanting to work with the United States, and maybe BRICS might start to, dismantle a little bit, that we could see prices come down. I don't know. I think that there's an inevitable climb that will happen with precious metals. I think that we're at the beginning stages of this climb still. That doesn't mean that we can't see some pullbacks here and there, which is just how investments of any kind, how any kind of commodity, stock, anything works. You see some pullbacks once in a while. I think we're just in one of those moments. But there's always different thought processes, and nobody's a fortune teller to know exactly what happens. We're just giving it our best guess. That being said, if it goes way up, I'm okay with it, although I don't like it. If it comes way down, that's where I want to be. I'm excited if metals comes way down, for sure. But feel free to put your thoughts in here. Silver dropped $5. Are we getting boned, or is it just going way up? I mean, it depends on how you look at it. It went up, tremendously as well. So it's just, there's pullbacks. It's going to be everywhere. However, the dip metals is a good time to buy some. And one thing I will say, for those who took my advice on Costco, and I know that some of you guys are like, wow, I can't believe he's pushing for Costco, whatever the case may be. I am so happy that I was buying from Costco, because I got metals for under spot price. So when metals came down, when silver came down, when gold dropped $100, I was like, not sweating it. I was like still like to the point where I'm like, man, I still bought it for cheaper than that. It just feels like we're winning at this point when we're buying the Costco metals. So I like that. I'm so happy that I got stuff from them this year, and I'm going to keep going as I can. I feel like they've been coming up in price a little bit. Maybe the excitement is kind of to where they're kind of evening out a little bit. The excitement and the amount of people buying, they just needed the customers at first, so they had the lower prices. You can still get stuff for well under spot, don't get me wrong. Let's put Coin Guy in charge of the Treasury Department. Let's put him in charge of something, huh? For sure. Show me something pretty, says Raz Bobo. All right, do me a favor, Raz Bobo. Go get a mirror real quick. Go get a mirror. Go find one. Go to the bathroom. Look in that mirror and look deep into it. And that'll be the prettiest thing you've seen all day. How about that? How about them apples? Now is a good time to get palladium. It's way down. I do like palladium, Corey, at these prices. Platinum, I've always been Palladium, I've always kind of like, if I got palladium, I sell it quick. I tell you what, what was it called? The Eagle, the Palladium Eagle. As soon as I got it, man, I turned it around in the next week. I was like, I'm done with this thing. I'm getting out, just because it's such a scary metal. And I'm glad I did. I definitely saved myself on flipping that quickly. But I think it's all speculative. The palladium, platinum. Can you make some good money on it right now? Sure, you could. You very well could. Very well could. Let's see. My Silver Journey, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you. Appreciate all. Look at man. It's like the chat is flooded with members. I love that. Thank you for being members. I greatly appreciate it, y'all. Members don't get a whole crazy lot of benefits. You know what I mean? I've been getting some videos early to them for sure. I greatly appreciate their support. Never ever required. Just, you know what I mean? Just appreciative. I love you guys. Rodium, Jojo, man. See the hit Rodium took? I remember when Salivate Metal had his 1 ounce of rhodium that he would show on screen, and I was begging him. I would say it in the chat. I was sending him messages, outside of the chat saying, hey, sell that thing any means necessary. Get rid of that thing. It's worth $20,000. Get rid of it. What is rhodium now? What is rhodium right now? Let's go rhodium prices. DI. Typing one-handed because I got this thing in my hand. Rhodium price. And rhodium, from what I've heard too, is very hard to sell. 4,625. So we lost like $16,000 from the time that he could have sold it at that $20,000 mark. Yikes! It is what it is. It is what it is. I think he still has it. I don't think he wanted to sell it at the time. He was just kind of like, for the purpose of being on screen. So Yikes. But I've heard from dealers that rhodium is incredibly hard to sell. There's only a few companies in the United States that will actually buy it, and trying to get a hold of them to buy it is another journey. I've never had it to where I could sell it. I've seen some 10th ounce stuff, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. For me, people talk about platinum, palladium, but it's like silver and gold is enough for me. There's no reason for me to get into something else. That's enough, and I preach that too. I'm like, if you already got silver and gold, don't go too crazy into the platinum and palladium. It's speculative. I'm dabbling in it a little bit, but I don't know that I would stack it like crazy. Not for me, at least. That's just, do what you think is right. That's just what I think is right. That buffalo looks amazing, doesn't it? Looks good in that little card too, I think. It just makes that little assay card just kind of pop with it. And plus, you're paying that much money for one of these things. It's like, can I get like a card to go with it or something, please? Please? Please and thank you? Oh, yeah. It's all about the journey. That's right. Kane. What's up, Kane? How are you doing from down under? Eric says copper. I do have a small holding of copper. You know why I stack copper? And when I stack copper, this is how I do it, right? I'm not going and buying copper rounds for $4 each or anything like that. I'm going to the scrap yard. I am getting copper for very close to spot, maybe a couple cents up or down from spot. Typically, it kind of goes right even with spot price. And that's how I get my copper. I am getting it for super cheap, or you can get some old United States cents and just hoard those. Like I got big bags of those, and that is copper as well. But I recommend if you get copper, try to get it as low as possible. The only reason I do stack copper at all is because it is dirt cheap. So, why not? If it's cheap enough, whatever. But my whole stack of copper, which may only be a few $100s worth, is a lot of space. I tell you what, I have an entire tote. It's like one of those big ones you get from Home Depot, full of copper wire, all kinds of scrap and stuff pieces in there. And how many of those totes can you comfortably store, in any kind of area? I mean, it's not necessarily a space saver, that stuff. Meanwhile, the exact price probably of all of my copper holding is right here in this little vial of gold, and that's the difference. I can have giant totes full of copper, or I can just go ahead and get a little tiny vial of gold. And that's my story about copper. Rhodium is great for jewelry plating. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Actually, Jojo, I actually have a video on YouTube where I visit a jewelry shop, and he talks about the process of using like rhodium and platinum and those kind of metals to make like a white gold finish. That's fun. I've been around, man. I've been around trying to get information out to everybody, and I learn a little bit while I do it. So it's like a two bird with one stone kind of situation. I really like old copper large coins. Oh, do you? Oh, do you, sir? You like old coins that were made of copper, huh? How about America's first coin? How about the Fujio cent, huh? Why don't you just mind your business? Can you guys just mind your business a little bit, please? Do that for me? Mind your business. Such history, right? Such history. It'd be crazy if somebody got like one of these pieces right here and was like inspired by it to like, make something that was more, like modern almost, kind of like a modern, rendition of like the idea of it. If somebody was inspired by, oh man, somebody did that. Somebody actually took the idea from a classic coin and made his very own silver rounds from the design. That's so crazy. Who did Spegtacular, the silver stacular did that? In God we trust. Amen. What? That's wild. Inspired by our classic coinage. Jeez Louise. Can you guys believe that? Unreal. Is that a sundial? It is a sundial. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We are one. Look at that. Maybe one day I can grab some more of those, but I tell you what, they are not cheap. Whew! They are not cheap at all. Jojo says, I remember that video. Thank you. Jojo's true. He's a true member of this channel. I tell you what, not only is Jojo a true member, he also moderates. He helps get rid of some of these weird, like, I call them booby comments. Because, like, for some reason, these booby commenters come on right away. As soon as I post a video, they come on and they start advertising their channels. And I call them booby comments because let's just say the picture of them shows some, that's it. That's all I'll say. Let's just, let's just end it there. I'm thinking like 1916 Standing Liberty Quarter style. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking here. Speaking of which, I could use some more moderators. Silver Journey, do you mind if I just make you a moderator? You don't have to really do anything if you don't want. But you've been a member for quite a while. I feel like if you don't mind, you can just be a moderator. If you find some booby comments, if you can get rid of them, you know what I mean? Thanks, man. I appreciate you. The spam bots, yeah. Yeah, the spam bots, for sure. It gets to be a little much. A little much. All right, what else we got? I have a silver chain with rhodium. It turned yellowish. So is it, why is it yellow, I wonder? You've been sweating on that thing? You grosso. Time to wash it once in a while. I love Daniel Carr pieces too. Did you see one of my Daniel Carr pieces, 210? I got a really nice piece, dollar. You want to see it? You got to give me a second to go grab it. Hold on. I think it's right on top somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. He does a really good job. I'm not gonna try to pretend like he don't. Let me see. There you go. Look how nice, huh? I mean, can we be honest? This is kind of better than the United States Mint in quality. Look how pretty that is. Wow. Sign the back. One of two, I believe. Kind of a rare piece. Probably not going to find that one again. Yeah, nice stuff. Nice stuff. Good little artist, for sure. For sure. Russian spam bots. You're probably right. Coins are history. Ever wonder who owned the coin before? Could some historical person had it? You know, Star Stacker, that is part of the allure, right? And that is kind of, in my opinion, why some of the modern stuff will never be as big as some of the classic stuff. For instance, the Fujio cent, right? This thing from 1787, where the heck has this been? It's definitely been used. It's not like mint state by any means. So where has this been? Whose hands has this touched? It could have been some of the founding fathers of the United States of America this thing has passed through. Whereas, although it's beautiful and cool and it shows how modern evolution of like minting processes work, this revolver is stinking cool. But as a coin, it'll never be, you know, historical really by any means. It'll never have like any kind of historic significance. You're never going to wonder whose hands this has been in. It's just going to be passed around going, wow, that looks like a gun. That's so cool. And that's about as cool as it's ever going to be. Which brings me back to one of my other, interests, and that's the old Spanish coinage, especially shipwreck coinage. So here is a nice coin that I featured not too long ago from the 1715 fleet. And this right here is a total example of what you're talking about, because here you have literally the first coins that existed in America. Way before the Fujio cent, you had the Spanish here mining silver and gold like crazy to bring back to Spain, and these coins were here. These were around the United States, just mostly Florida, that kind of area, but in the United States nonetheless. And you wonder where it has been. And when a coin like this gets sea salvaged from the actual 1715 fleet, and one of the places that it was in just a disaster that happened where 1,000+ people were killed in one night of just crazy storms and hurricane, and sunk down to the bottom of the ocean with 11 ships just ravaged and waiting for 300 years. 300 years before somebody found this wreckage and was able to pull these pieces up. And that right there is coin collecting history, is it not? That is the lure and just the fascination that we have of where has a coin been. And when you can mark it, as the 1715 fleet, or you know, an incident, some fire at a mint, some you know, 9/11 historical silver or copper pieces, those right there, like the Titanic shipwreck, the SS Republic, things like that. It put a name to the location. It makes it so cool. It makes it fascinating to me. And it's kind of like why I really would like to push for people that do have coins graded. And the guy that just mentioned earlier that he was having CAC grade his coins. If you can put your pedigree on the piece, you know what I mean? So like you can do that for like, I think an extra $5 for most grading services will do it. You can put like, let's say that your name is, you know, Jim Jones, right? Not the Kool-Aid man, but the other Jim Jones, the good one. Let's say your name is Jim Jones. You can put like, you know, Jim Jones collection right here for $5. And that way, everybody knows one place that coin has been to. And I think that provenance and the pedigree and the following of the coin is very important to our hobby. And one day we can look back and go, oh man, look how cool that was. I know that guy. He has a Wikipedia about him. But most people won't pay that extra $5. Let's be honest. It's a dream that's never going to come true, Spegtacular. Nobody's going to do that. It's $5. $5. Are you growing that stash for Movember, or you always sport that? I do it for cancer awareness. So No Shave November is a real thing with me. I definitely do it to raise awareness for cancer. Absolutely. So that's why I have the mustache right now. Thanks for noticing. I do. My mother died of lung cancer. So it is something that has happened in my family. And that's why the mustache gets grown. And let's be honest, it looks pretty cool too, right? You know what I'm saying? A good mustache looks pretty cool. Ben Franklin himself could have held that Fujio scent. Just imagine. Exactly, Jim. Exactly. One day when the Jurassic Park people get with other people, like coin people, and they start figuring out how to like track DNA that might be stuck on our coinage, wouldn't it be cool if we could like bring Benjamin Franklin back to life and he could be like, what are you guys doing with my 1787 Fujio scent? That was mine. I know that for a fact. I marked this spot of the coin right there. I know that's mine. Just imagine. Imagine. Whose bed have your boots been under? Jeez Louise. Who is that? Like Dolly Parton? Let me look it up. Whose bed have your boots been under? Whose bed have your boots? Shania Twain. There you go. Shania Twain. And now we have the answer. Thank you, Google. You know everything, don't you? Yeah, I have some Shipwreck, 911. You got some both of them, huh, Star Stacker? That's cool. And again, where have those? I mean, those are huge disasters, but the fact that, you know, we can track where it came from is amazing. Shania Twain. Okay, the wife knew that. There you go. I didn't know. I don't know. My mom died of lung cancer in 2000. Isn't that crazy, Jim? It's crazy. And my mom really wasn't a smoker. I mean, she was a smoker in her early age, as was everybody around that time, but she had stopped for decades. What can you do? What can you do? Anyways, anything else going on with anybody else? I think we should be starting to wrap it down now, right? Instead of wrap it up, you just wrap it down. Wrap it around. This was done beautifully right here. These artists that make these like little pieces out of silver is just, it's fantastic. Fantastic. And triple nine fine silver nonetheless. A lot of times like sterling 925 is a lot easier to work with. So for this to be done in 999 is definitely rough. It is not the easiest thing in the world. Anyways, picked up a cob fragment from the Princess Louisa. Where was that one? Where did that wreck happen, Brent? Let me know. Not your average hand pour. No. Although, you know, that's something that's kind of been up for discussion lately. Is people, you know, they talk about this stuff going like, hey, this is hand poured silver. I don't think so. I would not call that by any means hand poured silver. You know, this is cast stuff. But a lot of people are calling a lot of things these days hand poured silver. Hand poured silver is like literally, in my opinion, you put a bunch of silver in a crucible and you pour it out. There's no exact measurements by any means. You're not putting an ounce round into a small little crucible pot and hitting it with a flame and getting an exact 1 ounce pour. To me, that's not really truly poured silver. Poured silver, there is no way to determine what you're getting. It's a random, you know, amount. You can sort of eyeball it to get some kind of sort of idea, but you're never going to get a perfect amount, or hardly ever. Let me see if I can get you an example of more of what I would call poured silver. Let me find some. Well, I'll show you one of my pieces. This right here is pure silver, as you can see. This is one of my, what I would call hand poured pieces. I made in 2023. 2.2 ounces. And again, that's kind of like a testament of hand poured silver, because you never know how much it's going to be. I might have aimed, oh, sorry, 3.8 ounces. My bad. Couldn't even tell. It's so shiny. But I might have aimed for like 4 ounces. You know, I might have tried to get it right around 3. Who knows? I don't remember that time. But, you know, you get 3.8. It is what it is. And then I just start stamping stuff on there, and maybe I shined it up a little bit, trying to get it all shiny. And some things work, some things different. And now I just got this weird piece of thing that I keep in my little stash. Not to take away from other people's creations. There's some amazing stuff out there. Like this right here. This guy that made me this ship wheel, which I think is amazing because he used copper for like the base of it. And then we use silver for the actual steering wheel. And the fact that it spins is just absolutely silly. I feel like it shouldn't happen, but it all worked out and it looks nice. So there's some true art in both processes, but that's my story. And I'm sticking to it. And I'll put that back. But I just try things. When I do my hand poured silver, I just try things. Here's a piece of uranium glass that I melted a bunch of broken pieces of glass, and I was able to put some pieces of shot at the bottom right there. You can see that there's silver shot in the glass. And I actually have the piece that I made right here on top, which is 1.4 ounces, and I put some little radioactive situations right there. I was just trying things, you know. I put silver into uranium glass. I don't know that it's ever been done before, but Spegtacular did it. And this piece right here, if I did have a black light, it would glow. In fact, if Mrs. Spegtacular is listening, if you get the black light for me, I'll show people that this glows, just for funsies. Let's see. Let's go back to the chat a little bit. Silver in our pockets and not in our precipitation. Is that what they did that time when they're trying to change the weather? They put a bunch of silver in the air. Do you mind turning the light off real quick? Let me see. All right, we'll turn the lights off. All right, ready? Here we go. Here we go. Let's see if this glows. I might have been lying. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's radioactive. 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 So actual uranium glass in my hand under a black light. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy. You love uranium? Me too. I'm a big uranium fan. I can show you some new uranium pieces I got if you would like that. What's that? You can keep that off. I'm not really using it at this very moment because somebody says he would like to see some uranium. I think. I've done a little pouring in the garage. Gold is easy to work with. Yeah, gold, silver, both easy. Copper is rough. I love when people say that haven't really poured before. They're like, I think I'm going to start with some copper, kind of get used to it. I'm like, you're going to be sorry. Copper is much harder to work with than silver is. You might want to start with silver. Although it's a little bit more expensive than copper, it's not the easiest. Here, I'll show you some uranium pieces just for fun. Let's see, I have, one of my favorite of the uranium glass is the hobnail pieces. I love those so stinking much. Please don't break any pieces, Spegtacular. And then Also, one of my favorite pieces, and probably my favorite style, is the Fenton Burmese. So absolutely love Burmese. I'm sure people think I'm weird because I collect glass with like little butterflies and cute stuff on it, but the stuff that glows is just, I love it so much. Look at this stuff, ready? All right, Fenton Burmese. Look at that. The black light shows that it is uranium. So fun times. Fun times. You can see that hobnail piece right here, just glowing like crazy. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. It's getting all over the place now. That's what happens when you go to the Spegtacular YouTube channel. You start thinking about coins and you start learning about maybe some coins and precious metals, and then it starts getting weird. You start getting real weird. Let's get a couple more pieces of uranium glass. I'm sure there's some pieces I've never showed anybody before. Let me see what I got. Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, I got this. This is one of my new pieces right here. And I think this will be cool to show you guys. These are going to be things you never see out there. There's going to be no other YouTube channel where you're going to find this stuff. I guarantee. All right, here we go. So this is wonderful. It's like a butter dish. And I love the fact that it's just so well done, right? You put butter in there, you know, and other little odds and ends from the kitchen, but they just do so much for a butter dish. So let me go ahead and turn the light back off. Any pogs? I do have pogs, Jojo. I'm waiting for them to come back into style again. But that whole butter dish, look at that thing. Look just how cool that is. Isn't that beautiful? Weird, right? Weird things that we can collect in this, well, not this hobby, but hobbies. There's a lot of stuff out there for us to get involved with. And this piece right here, good luck finding one of these if you are ever a collector of uranium glass. This would be hard to find. So this right here is one of the dealer signs. So if you were a dealer of Fenton, you might have had one of these. And there are several of these styles out there, but to find one that's uranium glass is going to be a little bit of trouble. They're not cheap if you do find them, but those are a lot of fun for sure. So, and you got the sticker on there and everything. It's just got all the bells and whistles, ladies and gentlemen. It's so cool. All right, and we're done. And we're done. We're moving. No, we're moving along. We're done with the uranium. That's not what this is about. Not what this is about. Stacker Man Rabbit Hole. What a name. What a name. I'm sure you had no problem getting that one. Many of the names were taken, but not that one. So congratulations on finding something unique. Ay, ay, ay. Bada bang. Let's see. How much is that uranium piece? Oh, it's not for sale. Not for sale. I can't do that to myself. I've never seen frosted Fenton glass. There's a lot of that uranium that you wouldn't think would actually be glow glass. Like I have complete white pieces that they glow. Carnival glass, it glows. It's wild. You don't know that it's actually uranium until you shine the black light on it. I confess, I bought a few Pokemon cards this month. Oh, you sicko. Buying Pokemon cards. It is what it is, man. We buy what we like, right? I actually had a buddy, and he was over on Whatnot, and I really don't want to buy Pokemon cards at all, but I was just on there trying to support him, so I got like, he sent me like these cards, and I guess he put every single one on one of these little plastic things, and now they just sit on my desk. It's like, I really don't want to throw them away, but I don't know anything about them. I don't know what's what. It was this guy right here on what's it called? On Whatnot. So now I just got them. I don't know what I'm doing with these things. I really don't want them though, to be honest with you. Feel free to send me that revolver. No, I got to keep the revolver now. I got to keep the revolver. It's funny. That's one of the most stolen pictures of mine that exist out in social media. I had when I got these revolvers, I think I ended up getting 10 of them to sell them. And I put them in kind of like a circular pattern around my logo right here. And so you can clear as day see my logo. But every which person out there in Instagram land they end up stealing that picture when they're trying to sell the revolver. They use my picture. And it's like, my logo is right there in it. Like, how are you going to take my picture? Ay, ay, ay. I don't know why people got to steal stuff, why they got to counterfeit stuff. You know what I mean? There's no reason for that. There's no reason for it. I mean, like, we should go back to the old days, right? Where, you know, it's death. Death to counterfeit. We should go back to those times, don't you think? You can't steal people's ideas and make stuff that's not yours to be made. It's ridiculous. No self-respect. I know. It's fun getting some of this stuff out once in a while and just like looking at it and remembering about it. Like, actually, I'm looking at this right now. I forgot about this. You guys remember when I saved this from the melting pot? Right here? This was actually, Coin Guy was going to melt this. And I said, you better not melt that. I said, you better give me that thing. This was so cool. So this was actually to Major Roy Laundermilk from 3rd Infantry Division. And I believe I found the actual guy when I looked him up on that video. But I thought that was so neat, right? To find this piece. But these are pieces that actually, they get melted a bunch. Constantly getting melted. A lot of these coin shops, pawn shops, they get so much of this like sterling silver in or coin silver, things like that, and they don't sell. Nobody wants to pay the price for this stuff, so they ended up just shipping it to the refinery and getting melt for it. Kind of sad. So, but I decided to keep that and not let it get burnt. And I think it's fun to look up the history and find out who that was. And if I recall correctly, that particular major in his obituary actually had a lot of support from troops that were underneath him. And they were just saying how great he was and how much they appreciated him and all this stuff. So that was kind of neat. You know? Anyways, that's that. Trying to reorganize everything here as I'm talking to you guys. The moral of the story is keep stacking, keep collecting, and don't be jealous of somebody. If you see somebody on screen and they got a bunch of stuff on there and you know you're like, oh, he must be making extra money on YouTube, or he must be working hard to get that money, or I can't believe he's doing. Who cares? Who cares? Inspire yourself to be more like that person if you really are jealous, right? And do things extra. Go out there and try to grab it, you know? Not steal his stuff, but I mean, like, you know, grab the world, you know? Grab the bull by its horns and just hold on. If you're somebody that's going to view it from afar and just, you know, be jealous and envious and just go, I cannot believe him getting those things, and he's terrible. You're never going to get it yourself. You got to go out there and work for it, for sure. You got to do it for yourself. And that's the moral of the story. That is definitely it. So I don't know what else to say. I think that's about it. I think I've done everything I can. It's really wonderful seeing you all. That's the true moral of the story, is coming live with you all and hanging out with you. That is truly wonderful. I will say that, what today is it? The 17th today, so it's still Sunday. The 22nd, so Friday, that's November 22nd. There's a new Coin Guy video that I got locked and loaded. Members only for right now have had access to it. If there's any members in here that want to tell me if it was a good or a bad video, I'd appreciate that. I think it was a good little time that we had. I plan on doing more with the Coin Guy, of course. There's some other coin shops that I plan on doing stuff with. The Hurricanes that back-to-backed me there a couple weeks back, or a few weeks back now, you know, kind of stifled some of my plans with other coin shop owners, but, you know, we'll get back into the swing of things. And we'll get as much information to you guys as possible. That's always been the goal of my channel, is try to share information that otherwise was being kept secret. I could not stand when collectors had these wonderful collections and all this information and they died with it. And I saw that so many times going through coin shops where a collector would come in and tell me things like, I have the whole Morgan dollar collection. And I'm like, what are you doing with it? And he's like, well, I'll probably just die with it. And I'm like, why don't you just show me on camera so that I can let other people see what a cool thing it is to have the entire Morgan dollar collection, because that doesn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. That's unusual. And I had all these other coin shops that, you know, were keeping information to themselves. Oh, that's industry secrets. Oh, that's industry, you know, kept secret. Oh, we can't talk about that. No, man. Let's tell people. Let's help the youth out there become the next coin guy or coin gal. You know, we want to not keep all these secrets. We want to get them out there. Let people become coin shop owners. Let's build this hobby, and that's always been my goal. And that's enough about that. What does Wayne say real quick? On the outro, it says, we all collect at our own pace. It's really a personal thing. 1 piece or 1,000 pieces, you are still in the game of collecting. That's right. That's right. And I gave some young collector some advice the other day. He says, you know, what Morgan dollars should I buy? He's like, I'm just starting. You know, I don't have a lot of money. What should I get? And I said, buy the best coins that you can afford and just keep doing that and build your set. And one day, if you want to upgrade, that option is totally available to you. But always get the best ones you can afford at the moment, because we can always do better at one point in our lives, hopefully, right? Hopefully. Anyways, always been fun. Like you said, Liquid Electrum, absolutely. Jem, appreciate you. All the members, JoJo, always appreciate you guys and gals. You guys, you know, again, always appreciated. Never expected anything like that. If you one day decide that you can't donate, or you can't be a member anymore, no hard feelings. Just, you know, don't stop watching once in a while. That's what I really appreciate. You guys come by and check me out. Let's keep an eye on the spot prices tomorrow. Looks like for right now, they're kind of going up. In the aftermarket hours, we got gold up $26 and silver up 29 cents approximately. And platinum and palladium both up. $10 platinum, $23 palladium. Very interesting. We will see what happens in the coming months. Let's hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. I got to go for now. Appreciate you all. Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular, is out.